And thanks for joining us with Public Affairs on Peach. I'm CBS 46 political reporter Giovanna Dierpick, and we're previewing the 2017 state legislative session. My guest today is Steve Henson, Minority Leader of the Senate Democratic Caucus. Now, as legislators meet, the Trump administration is going to be in its term in the White House. So, of course, a lot of people want to know what kind of effect this is going to have here in Georgia. Steve?
Well, we're going to wait this session to see. We're in session for 40 days. Usually that lasts till the end of March. And I kind of doubt we're going to see significant changes in the, even with the 100-day plan of the president, significant changes that are going to cause us to have to stop the legislative process to see what's going on. But certainly with health care, with Medicaid expansion or not, health care is certainly a big issue and may see states lose money. Education, we may lose money from the federal government. So they could impact Georgia, and we could maybe have to take a break to see what's going on. But my guess is we'll probably get through this session, and the real impact of what may happen will be next year.
That's just it. We think that when a new administration is coming in, that the first effect would be on the budgets. Contingency plans, what do we have in place in case the budget is cut for education and for health care?
Well, since all 50 states have similar problems, usually the Congress won't act immediately to make cuts that will impact us. They'll build in some time for you to resolve some problems. And we can always come back in the middle of the year with a special session if there's something that seriously changes. Usually, again, government doesn't turn on a dime and things don't happen overnight, so usually you have that kind of built-in time frame that you can come back next year and fix it. But if there's some drastic changes, you know, we may have to go on a pause for 3 or 4 weeks in the session to see what's going on, and then convene to do the budget. We have until July to get the budget out.
Reevaluate and see where we stand as far as money goes.
Absolutely.
Now, there is another topic that, you know, it seemed that a lot of people would be on board with, but of course, you know, there is some back and forth. We're, of course, talking about the ban on the use of handheld devices while driving.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's been debated for years, and certainly we've gone one step saying you can't text while driving, and that has decreased wrecks in Georgia. More and more people are finding access to hands-free devices. I know just in the last couple of years, I finally made sure my phone was synced with my car and do the hands-free device. And as more people find that as something they can access, it becomes easier to pass in law. I think there's still a lot of resistance with the voters out there. I kind of don't expect it to happen this year, but it will come in time because people are usually safer if they're not holding that device in their hand while they're driving.
Let's take a look at a story we did regarding the ban on handheld devices.
I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that anymore.
These sisters, Lisa Griffin and Una Magruder, are the first to tell you they don't always see eye to eye.
I never leave my cell phone because it's just a part of me, and I don't even know it's an extension. I left mine in the car.
A measure to ban handheld cell phones while driving in Georgia is designed to cut down on the dangers of distracted driving, at least when it comes to cell phone use. Of course, the sisters see things a little differently.
But I think that, you know, there are also opportunities for you to accomplish things before you get home if you can have your little conference call or do whatever without it being an unsafe situation with your hands.
You're still mentally distracted. I think we're trying to change the culture. We're trying to change the conversation.
State Representative Keisha Waite says she was inspired by a similar ban in other big cities.
Chicago, New York, that's where I saw it the first time because initially it annoyed me. It really did. But then I got to thinking about it. After a couple of days, it wasn't so bad.
If the bill passes and you're found guilty of driving with a handheld device, the fine would be $150.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous. That's a lot.
Fortunately, Griffin knows it won't affect her sister because her sister only uses a hands-free device.
Me. I already said it. I'm holding up the light. I am addicted to my cell phone, right?
And she surely doesn't plan on giving up her cell phone anytime soon. Hey, it's a tough discussion for those sisters and for other people to put down the cell phone while driving. Now, of course, one person I talked to, he's in sales, and he didn't want to go on camera, but he told me that he disagrees with the ban because he said being on the cell phone is critical to his livelihood. He said that, you know, there are a lot of things that people can do while stopped at a red light, traffic light, and that sort of thing. Where do you see this going?
Well, I'm old enough to remember when beepers were the big thing and people weren't able to talk on the phone in the car. So we can survive without it, but I don't see it passing this year. I do think it's something that's down the road is going to be something we turn to, but
Not a priority this year.
For some people it is, but I don't think it's going to go all the way through the process.
Not with the lawmakers. Okay, well, our discussion is going to turn to educational issues when Public Affairs on Peach returns. Stay with us.